My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here. I hope my last video was not mute. So this one was on mute. Oh my lord, I just did an hour video. I hope it's not mute. I didn't listen to it. Okay, now oh my lord, I hope I didn't waste an hour. All right, so let's focus on this now, and then later I'll check. Okay, today is June 26, 2023. Hopefully this is video number 2, or maybe I'll have to redo video number 1. All right, so let's go on Twitter. It's like 4:41 right now. Okay, Liz Garbus, Meghan really became the face of the blame for, quote, destroying, end quote, something that the British public felt was so important to them. Instead of blaming the monarchy, Camilla Tamney is a liar, and KK Kate, they decided to blame the biracial Meghan Markle. So there's a LA Time here. There's an article in here. So she put the link. Let's see here. I think I have the tag. Okay, so I have some articles to share with you on this one here. I see the links already there. I bookmarked them. Some of those things were from yesterday that I started. Okay, so let's see here. I'll read some of it. Harry and Meghan was a chance to share the journey of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Okay, shooting a documentary series starring one of the world's most high-profile couples is no easy task, but when the couple is the headline, generating Duke and Duchess of Sussex, perhaps better known as Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, extra level of fidelity, discretion, and safety must be employed. I felt like I read some of it in another video. Challenges aside, making the Netflix series Harry and Meghan proved unusually gratifying for Liz Garbus and Chanel Pisnick, two of its executive producers and creative partners, and not only because the show nabbed the streaming's record for the most watched documentary debut. Series director Garbus, a 2-time Oscar nominee and 7-time Emmy nominee, with producing wins for the documentaries Ghosts of Abu Ghraib. Yeah, I think I shared that in another video. After this paragraph, that's it. I'll go back to Twitter. And What Happened, Miss Simone was brought into the project in 2021 by Pisnick, who had recently started as head of unscripted for the Duke and Duchess of Archwell production. Alright, so the link of this article is in the description. I think I've read it in another video. So let's go back to this. So let's see some of the comment. Okay, so Meghan Markle is face of blame in Harry's breakup with Britain director. Alright, let's see here. By the way, Liz works with Meghan Markle. Alienate yourself from people who find pleasure in blaming others for their failure. Blamers never take responsibility for their part and something going wrong, since the excuse is always someone's fault. Those kinds of relationships are toxic and never good for your mental health. Amen. Okay, for some odd reason, your negative posts are suspect to me. It's like your water carrier for all things negative of Princess Meghan. Okay, I'm not even wasting my time on your BS. Have a nice day. Okay, what is that? Let's see. Okay, so what I'm destroying, Liz Garbus. I thought, this is the sense that I get, unless I miss something. My English now, I'm blaming my English, unless if I didn't understand. What I get here is like they're making it seem like the Liz Garbus is saying that the UK is blaming Meghan for something that Meghan have no control of. Meghan was just, she didn't say Meghan was being herself, but it's like the British, they're blaming Meghan for something Meghan have no control of. That's the way that I took it, unless I misunderstood this. So with that being said, let's leave that alone. Let's go to the next tweet that I have. There was one that have a different article. Okay, so there's Meredith. I'm now following her on not TikTok, on here, on Twitter. And she has a YouTube channel, I think, as well. And I think I follow her that as well. Get deep breath. Here is my analysis of the imperfect Wall Street Journal about Harry and Meghan and Hollywood. I still think there is the foundation for a real convo in here. I think they lay out some things while leaving out some crucial detail, but more in the vid. Okay, so check out Meredith's video. So what did she say here? Can I still see it?
Let's talk about it. The recent piece from the Wall Street Journal that came out this weekend. Before we get started, I just want to say that one of the things that I have been talking about for the last few months is how it doesn't seem like we can have a real conversation about Harry and Meghan and the decisions that they make and the work that they do without it devolving into shouts about being a stan or a hater, personal attacks, and then it just falls apart from there. I think this article, while not perfect, gives an opportunity to have some real discussions about Harry and Meghan's work post-British royal family, and also the state of Hollywood in general.
Oh my God. Oh shit, it's 9 minutes. I really love the way she think. Because sometimes when those haters are throwing nonsense out there, if you look at the finer point, the fine line of the thing that they, how will I say that? It's like the haters know the good thing Harry and Meghan are doing. It's obvious, okay? It's obvious. But they're trying to spin it into a negative. But in the spin of negativity, if you really think about it, you could branch out and pick the positive out of it. And this is what she's doing. I'm telling you, I follow smart people, okay? She's one of those. Okay, let's continue listening to her video.
I know what I am going to say is going to bother some people. All I ask, and I know it's a big ask, is that you listen to the video all the way through.
Okay.
Perhaps read the article. I definitely suggest it because it's only my interpretation of the article that you're hearing. And maybe we can have some good, productive conversations. I hope. I'm already kind of regretting this, but let's go. I can't in good faith talk about this article without telling you that I know.
I'm laughing, I'm sorry. She's saying she's already regretting it. Oh shit. I hope this video really record the audio. Yesterday's recording took me almost all day. I had to stop and do different things and come back to it because it did not record the audio. Oh my Lord, I hope it does.
I know one of the authors. My college roommate was best friends with Eric. They grew up together in Pennsylvania. He was a familiar face that we would see in our slightly lopsided Beacon Hill apartment junior year. And I'm actually glad that I read the piece first before reading who wrote it. I've been trying to read pieces before reading who wrote them, just so I can kind of have as unbiased of a viewpoint as possible. Eric is not a royal family reporter. He won the Scripps Award for his work in environmental journalism before moving over to discuss Hollywood and the film industry. I'm not here to read his entire resume, but just give you a little bit of background. This doesn't mean...
It's always good to do that. It's always good to do that. And the other thing that I was thinking is, keep in mind, Wall Street Journal is owned by Rupert Murdoch. Okay? Keep that in mind as well.
That everything written in here is correct. And we're going to start off with a glaring problem with this article, which is more so a glaring problem with digital media. The headline sucks. I bristled at the headline because the headline is designed for you to feel something, positive or negative. So this headline is Harry and Meghan produce a Hollywood flop themselves. That's going to make you feel some type of way. But what this article to me is really about is, can Harry and Meghan make it in Hollywood without relying on their personal story? Their personal story has been their launch board. It's been very successful. What's next? It's also a story about startup growing pains, about the state of Hollywood and streaming and the podcast industry and how things have changed. And it's...
If video one, the audio was recording, because I just found out the mic was off when I started this video. If video one was recording, one of the things that I've said is that Archwell, it's like brand new. The success that Archwell have gotten for its short period of existence, this is like a company that probably would have been there 10, and when I said 20 years, and I sort of bring it back and I said 20 is a bit too much, but at least 10 years could get that much of accolade. Okay, so this is another perspective of that. So once they finish receiving award for some of the work, what is next? So usually people do this kind of thing gradually, okay, a little bit at a time. You see when you look at a line graph, okay, you see how each year it's moving slowly and went up. But Harry and Meghan went straight up. You understand what I mean? So once you hit the peak of a success, what's next? You understand what I mean? So like for instance, Harry, who is at the peak of celebrity, at peak of a social class, it's like, what was next for him? So he realized, he had to bring other people up with him. So which means they have to use the same model. Maybe it's not their life story. Maybe it's someone else's life story that could make good storyline or something. But let's continue. I'm branching off.
It's focused on Harry and Meghan because they're in the news because of their split with Spotify. Let's dive into some of the key parts. Again, this is just my point of view. I really encourage you to read the article. If you hit sign in and you subscribe or register for free, you can read it, okay? There is a paywall, but you can work around it for this article. The piece opens up about this documentary that H&M wanted to make about misinformation. Reportedly, a team assigned to the job, so again, this is secondhand information, went to speak with them about it. They had tons of questions. Is this a series or is it a film? Historical or contemporary? Would Harry and Meghan appear in it? Allegedly, the couple had few answers to these questions. And allegedly, this documentary idea faded away. Harry and Meghan are relatively new to this world.
Thank you.
Yes, Meghan was on a TV show, but having a production company, executing these big ideas, knowing who needs to be in place, what needs to be in place, is a totally different ballgame.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I said something similar to that. I sort of like package it in one, but she is detailing it here. I've said almost the same thing in video one. Please God, make it recorded because I just realized the mic was off. I do not want to record it again.
And as an Archwell spokesperson told the Wall Street Journal, quote, "New companies often make changes in their startup phase, both with people and strategy, and we are no exception. We're more equipped, focused, and energized than ever before."
I read that
They've
somewhere.
had their own growing pains and issues, which any startup production company is going to have. The difference is it's tied to two very big names, so every little misstep or lost deal is hyper-focused on by the media.
And let's not forget as well, you have the royal family, the freaking entire country and the UK is trying to pull them down. So this is why sometimes I say they need to be in their bubble to avoid all of the noises that the UK is preventing them from moving forward. It's like walking with a shackle on your knees and they're telling you to run. Okay, so the royal family is working extra hard to prevent them from succeeding. So there's that aspect as well. Not only they have to prove themselves, do their own thing and all of that, and you have the institution who's trying to pull them down. It's like they're in the water and then they're grabbing them down. Okay, so I have to add this to that.
Picked apart for larger clues about what this means for their brand. Besides the podcast Archetypes, which did extremely well, what they have produced that has just broken records, done extremely well, has been the Harry and Meghan documentary and Prince Harry's memoir Spare. Both of these things are about their personal story and their ties to the British royal family. They quote biographer Andrew Morton in this piece, who says, "Once you've launched your bombshell, what's next?" And that's a fair question.
Yes, it is.
How do you make a successful pivot away from your personal story? I think a forgiving look at this could be that Harry and Meghan are trying to figure out what their brand is, what long-term their vision is for their production company. They just happen to be doing it with the eyes of the entire world.
That's
on them.
right.
As the piece says, quote, "The couple shows they could mine their personal stories. Prince Harry's memoir Spare became a bestseller, and the 6-part documentary they produced for Netflix about their break with the royal family proved popular. That aside, they have struggled to make content that stretched beyond their own experiences," end quote. But this piece doesn't leave out the larger factors at play that Harry and Meghan have no control over.
That's right.
Quote, "When they struck deals with Netflix and Spotify in 2020, streaming services were booming and executives were rushing to secure content and feed consumer demand at any cost," end quote. The Sussexes came along with Malala, the Obamas, etc., signing these deals with these offers fielded from Hollywood that, quote, had few guidelines on what would come next. Currently, there is slower growth for streaming services like Netflix and also Spotify. Cuts have been made. Costs are being trimmed. It has this to say specifically about Netflix, quote, after booming during the early part of the pandemic, Netflix subscriber growth began to stagnate as streaming competition ramped up and consumers resumed more regular lives. Netflix is still recovering from a sharp drop in stock in 2022 after it announced its first quarter of subscriber losses in a decade, end quote. It also discusses Spotify and the hundreds of people that have been laid off. Not because of Harry and Meghan, but because of a change in the appetite and environment of podcasting. In some ways, the article concedes that Harry and Meghan are caught up in something bigger than themselves. Nah. Something I wish the article had gotten into, though, was the deal that Meghan signed with WME, and just what the impacts of signing with WME could have on their current contracts in Hollywood or where they're headed. I think that was a crucial piece that was left out, because it seems like part of the problem might have been at the beginning that they just didn't have the right people around them that were experienced in understanding everything that went into these deals and what was expected. I feel like with the influx of new people to Archwell and this new deal with WME, maybe that should smooth out some of those problems before signing deals. Interestingly, the article does bring up that Netflix is unlikely to renew their deal with the couple when it comes up in 2025. But later on, the article also quotes a Netflix spokesperson who had this to say, that they valued the partnership with Archwell and noted that Harry and Meghan was its biggest documentary debut.
I read
We'll continue to work together on a number of projects, she said. There does seem to be an attempt to get different people on the record to give a fuller picture of what might have happened here or is happening here. Granted, everyone is unnamed, so that's something to keep in mind. And there could be different motivations for having these quotes out there. These quotes also could have been put out there with the hope that it would help drive the conversation of renegotiations that I'm assuming are starting to happen between Harry and Meghan and Netflix about what happens post-2025. So there's a lot of things to consider here with some of the sources. It kind of reminds me of when someone has a massive hit, say in the country genre, and then they try to pivot to pop. Is it going to work? Is it going to play out? Can people see them as anything other than a country singer? And that kind of feels like where Harry and Meghan are right now. They know they can make a killing off of their personal story, off of their connection to the British royal family. But how do they parlay that into something else? How do they parlay that into something bigger, into something that is not tangentially tied to them? And again, this is only through the framework of Hollywood. This is not, can Meghan wear something and go out and sell it out immediately? Yes, she can. This is not about if there's interest in the couple. There clearly is. It's about, can they make this pivot where people are still interested in what they produce, even if it has nothing to do with them?
I think what Harry and Meghan are doing is that they already have something in mind. Because there's that particular thing, I think I spoke about it in one of my videos, that Netflix sort of scrapped out, is an animated thing, and I think I compare it with Carmen San Diego. I had it on Pure YTE. So they have a vision. I think Harry and Meghan have a vision. In order to go forward with their vision, people have to understand where they're coming from. And I think this is why they start with their personal story. Why did they start with their personal story? Because the British media, the royal family, smear their name. So in order for you to understand them, to really erase whatever the institution have said about them and continue to say about them, they have to start with their personal story. So you get to understand where they're coming from, you know, the truth versus the nonsense that the UK is writing. And I think this is what they did with the Oprah interview, the docu-series, Spare. Okay, and then what's the other book? Bench was something she wrote because of watching her husband and her child, you know, interact with each other. Okay, so I think there is a step. I agree with her 100%, and I truly hope all the Sussex Squad follow her on whatever platform. I'm surprised I was able to see it. Yeah, it's asking me to log on, but I'm not on TikTok, but I'm able to see it. But the thing is that every squad should follow her, because this is like someone who's reading and explaining things for you and put it in more context. Okay, she makes sense in every way. I agree with her 100%. Okay, but the thing with Harry and Meghan, they have a vision. We haven't seen their vision yet. Okay, but in order for them to execute their vision, they have to go back. Going back meaning they have to let the world know what you heard on the tabloid is not what it is. This is what really happened, and this is where the Spare, the Oprah interview, and what's the other thing, Harry and Meghan docuseries came out to explain to us, to get the foundation of things. Okay, and then as they move forward, okay, other project will come out. I think Meghan have different idea for things for children. I don't even think she's really thinking about, you know, just herself. I think she's probably thinking of different things. Maybe as her kids grow, maybe she will produce things for her children's age or something like that. A production company doesn't really all about you, it's about the work. So they probably will have different work. So it's taking them time to go with their vision. But in order for them to move forward with their vision, we have to go and see their foundation, because the tabloid have smeared their name so much. That's the way that I see it, and I agree with her as well. So any Sussex squad who's on TikTok, they should follow her. I'm not on TikTok, so I don't plan on signing in. Okay, so let's continue and finish with it.
In a year, we might be able to look back at this piece and say it was just a growing pain. Look where they are now. And yes, this article from the headline has a decidedly negative slant. But the Wall Street Journal is Murdoch owned.
That's it.
It is a conservative paper. And also, outrage sells. More likely to perform well on social media and get picked up by the algorithms and pushed to more people so it can elicit more outrage and hate, because that's what people reply to. This piece is not perfect. I think there are things that have been left out. But I do think there is a basis for a really good conversation that we could have about where Harry and Meghan go next.
And the other thing we have to take into consideration, this is a US based kind of publication. So that particular author walk on the fine line, doesn't want to be sued for defamation. Okay, so that article walk on the fine line kind of way. All right, so let's finish that.
But I understand with the nature of social media, that is a very difficult conversation to have, especially because people have very strong feelings about this couple. Thank you for listening all the way through.
I agree with her. All right, so let's go back to Twitter. So that was that. I just follow her here, went in there. Okay, I know some of you found me and liked my content because I confirmed what Harry and Meghan were saying. That wasn't my original intention. Harry and Meghan seems like wonderful people, but they are human. I don't think vilifying them or putting them on a pedestal is productive. That's another thing as well. Okay, let's see here. I'm glad you post the video. I agree with your take on it, and it touches on some things I thought myself, and I agree that the article does open up good question about where the Sussexes go next. I guess I only disagree about the level of negative bias in the piece. Okay, that is completely fair. I'll go into the first one here. Let's read some of here. Okay, I'm curious, just curious about the success of other celeb lead production companies that have been in existence for 3 years. Nobody is perfect, but others are not measured by a ridiculous standard. Okay, I'm not suggesting that their path is unique, but what is unique is the high level of interest in them. That is true, and I've even said in video 1, please God make it recorded, is just that the spike, for the short amount of time they've been in existence, and then for their work to spike to the top. Okay, how much can you hold it to the top? You're not gonna get award every year, because there's gonna be other people, other production, other movies that's gonna be at the top as well. So I think this is the basis of things that people are talking about. Okay, how much can you stay on top? But I think for Harry and Meghan, I don't really think they care. Yes, they want their things to be success. Okay, this is no discussion. It's no brainer. Okay, they want their work to be good and be successful, but their main I'm not speaking for them, but my humble opinion, their main objective is to produce content that is not negative in comparison to all the nonsense you see on national television. Okay, so you like to watch TV, so let me create something that is meaningful, that is understanding, that is educational for you to learn this kind of thing. So yeah, let's take Tyler Perry for instance. Tyler Perry, I did a video about him a while back where I don't remember what I said. I think I went over his background, how he made it, and things like that. I remember the thumbnails, but I don't remember every details what I said in the video. But when you look at Tyler Perry, for instance, he create a lot of movies. I don't know if some of his movies have won any award. I don't know about that. But the thing is that he is content. He is satisfied with the work that he produced for a certain demographic. Okay? So all the, like for instance, when you hear the UK tabloid is saying Meghan is not an A-list actress and, you know, trying to put her down for her success, but yet Meghan was making money to pay her bills. She's a millionaire. She's doing all things that she wanted to do. She was content with that. And the same can be said with Tyler Perry as well. He was producing his own thing that he felt comfortable with for a certain demographic. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people outside of the US who probably never heard of Tyler Perry, who probably never seen some of his movies or anything like that. But what really matters is Tyler Perry is content with what he's producing. And he's a billionaire. That's the thing. This is the same thing that I see for Harry and Meghan. I don't think they're really focusing too much on some crazy stuff, whatever those people are thinking, and I cannot speak for them. And obviously they want their things to be a success. They want their things to be good. The foundation of things is they have their own vision. They're satisfied with what they're producing. You understand what I mean? So the UK is still gonna criticize them no matter what. Alright, so it doesn't matter. But the foundation of thing is Harry and Meghan content, satisfied with what they are producing. So everything else is just noise. That's it. I don't know how to feel with this. You're starting with a deep breath and then ending with quote, they shouldn't be put on a pedestal either. You do you. I mean, I understand her sense. I don't understand. They just human. They just want to do the thing. They just want to do that thing. But sometimes we can't keep on. I'm probably going to sound like a hater now. Just treat them fairly and help promote their work and all of that. So I understand her thing. Because when you start putting people on a pedestal all the time, it's just that now what is next? And if they remember, they are human, they tend to make mistakes. So if you're always putting them on a pedestal, when they do make a humanly mistake, which is fine, then you're gonna start seeing, you're gonna be shocked or something like that. Just treat them fairly, that's all. Okay, what I said was, I don't think vilify them or putting them on a pedestal is good. I think it's dehumanizing. Okay, good analysis. Still content. This kind of laser focus on Harry and Meghan post break from line. Royal rules need to be done on two institutions that facilitate that break: British monarchy and British press. Okay, Harry and Meghan stated in the docuseries that they were interested in producing rom-coms. Okay, also that's romantic comedies. Also, I think they were saying it. I don't know if they were going full blown on that. But whatever. But I know in one of my old videos where there's a project that they had that was chopped with Netflix, and at that time Netflix was chopping out a lot of animated things, and I compared that particular thing that Meghan and Harry Archwell had in mind was something similar to Carmen San Diego. I don't remember the name of it, and I compared with Carmen San Diego. It's like one of those 90s, is it 80s and 90s kids show. It's very educational, that where she's going around the world, you learn about geography, and she had to, discover certain things. So I compared that with hers. So that's what I think she was trying to do. Right, let's see here. So where was I? Harry and Meghan stated in docuseries that they were interested in producing rom-coms. Also, Harry said the book and series were a look-back project and they will be moving ahead with new ideas. We see that with the first season of Archetype. Okay, let's go back to this. 11 comment on this. Okay, 3, giving a totality of circumstances. It's hard to say. We need to have a convo about what's next for the Sussexes because A, the writers only care about their job, not the collateral damage they cause, and B, a convo generated through rage engagement isn't a convo. Okay, Ahmed conversation is general about Harry and Meghan, not descent into chaos between friends and people who hate them. I'm saying there can be a choice to see them as human. That's it. I got her just as human, just fairly. I see her. I see exactly what she meant. Okay, I'm glad I came on and she elaborated a little bit more. Okay, I'm saying there can be choice to be, okay, I'm saying there can be a choice to see them as human and have an interest in their post-British royal family business decision and how it's going. Okay, listen all the way through and read the article. Several thought. 1, yes, you can vouch in an indirect way for your hometown. Okay, 2, say hometown boy was clearly okay with the rage engaging title because more, there's the look here, land on his piece. So there's that. Okay, I never said the state of journalism isn't a mess, even if there's a good journalism working with the framework. I think what she did here, when she looked in the background of the writer to see a background, where they're coming from. Is it one of those people who, okay, you know what? Let me leave this alone. Because I understand her. That's all I'm saying. I understand her. Next tweet, different topic. Okay, so there's this here. Okay, attention my Sussex squaddies. There seems to be an article going around about Duchess, Meghan and Taylor Swift, and I will say this. There is no, and I mean absolutely no proof that she said this. Let's not forget this is the toxic tabloid we're dealing with, also called BS. Okay, so this is the thing that, okay, so there's Meghan. Okay, so the freaking Telegraph. Well, come on, of all places. I thought the squad understood already. If you look, again, I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, video 1 is recorded, because when I started this one, I realized the mic was off. I hope video 1, I record everything. When you're looking at this, the Telegraph, this is what the outrage is going with? Come on, people should know better than this. Okay, Taylor Swift snub an invitation to appear on the Duke and Duchess of Sussex Archetype podcast. It has been claimed. Okay, first of all, 1 is the Telegraph. 2, how do they know? Meghan never put her stuff out there. How will they know? Unless if Taylor Swift says something, but I doubt it. She's too busy doing her thing. These two aspects of things, oh my God, come on, Sussex Squad. Well, then again, in video 1, we came across some tweets where the Sussexes, true Sussex squads, said that there were a lot of Twitter accounts that impersonating them. So maybe they were the one who's making the noise of that. Okay, remember how the UK work. Okay, it's a group, it's a team. Okay, the paper, the newspapers, the people who spew their nonsense on social media, they all one. Okay, I'm talking about the institution, the UK, how they operate. The Telegraph put this out there. Okay, so they have either one of their mouthpieces who have multiple accounts spread this out, say some nonsense about it. Okay, and then that same person go to the next account and then pick it up and say, you know, spread it a little bit more. creating the hysteria or the craziness about it. This is how they work. This has nothing to do with the squad. This has nothing to do with Harry and Meghan. First of all, the minute you saw it's from the Telegraph, you should have known. This is BS. Second of all, how will they know about this? Okay, we already know there's restructuring going on with Archetype and things that's going on. So how will they know all of this? We already know Meghan and Harry don't spew their work to people while they're working at it.
I mean, I think that knowing that I've just been here for 3 months, right? And in that amount of time, but with that said, for me, it's very important to, once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far. For me, it's very important to, once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far, is meeting with the right people, meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly, learning as much as I can so that I can maximize the opportunity we have here to really make an impact. Learning as much as I can so that I can maximize the opportunity we have here to really make an impact.
We will know when it's done, when it's complete. All right, so that alone, this is bad. I can't believe this is what the squad were screaming about. Okay, it is alleged that Meghan, there it is here. All right, so they're already telling you it's not true already. All right, it is alleged that Meghan wrote a personal letter to tell, like she did to her father, and you guys, you know, those people in the UK went and intercepted. They don't know crap. They already tell you alleged. That alone, you said forget it, it's not true. Okay, it is alleged that Meghan wrote a personal letter to Taylor Swift asking her to appear on Hashtag. Oh my goodness. Taylor Swift snub invite to appear on Duchess of Sussex podcast. I mean, all weekend we were seeing all the nonsense that's going on, and this is the one that the squad carry out with. Wow, they should have known better. Let's see here. LOL, good job Taylor, I'll do it, smart, he did. Okay, there's this. Oh dear, that will piss off the squaddies. My money is on the Swift. Okay, this is all the haters. Okay, nonsense. I don't.
Rumors are carried by haters, spread by fools, and accepted by idiots.
That is true.
Pick a side, pick a side.
Let's start it all over.
Rumors are carried by haters, spread by fools, and accepted by idiots.
That's spot on.
Pick a side, pick a side. Rumors.
She's spot on. Spot on. The minute I opened the thing, I was like, Telegraph of all things the squad are upset about. I didn't even know that. I'm not giving these derangers no more of my time today, tomorrow, or next week. We're bigger than that. We all know about the new smear hate campaign that's not only out for Harry and Meghan, but us, the Sussex squad, as well. They want to show, and the only show they're gonna get is the middle finger. Okay, love that, the quote of the year. Okay, the video was perfect. Exactly, yes. Okay, it's Murdoch on Wall Street Journal turned the tabloid that wants two famous women with loyal following to hate on each other. That's it. Oh my god, again, if video 1 is recorded, you heard what I said. That's it. They're pinning each other. There's nothing too low and desperate for Rupert Murdoch. And don't forget, Harry's suing him. Okay, his papers. Okay, exactly. We should take a pause and catch our breath. It seems they are trying to make the Sussex squad illegitimate. We've had powerful fundraiser, and although with some hesitation, still able to support a bike shop cause to give little boys and girls. This scares them. All right, so let's go to the next one. Again, it's regarding the Taylor Swift thing. If I had click on all of this, well, then again, I want to share with you what's going on anyway. Okay, that Taylor Swift shit, that's Henry VIII, you know, it's nothing. Okay, so there's one of my comment here. Okay, unfortunately, now they have all those fake Sussex Squad accounts to create fake anger toward Taylor. They are working overtime this week to create chaos. But the truth will come out, and all the effort to hurt Harry and Meghan will backfire. So there's me here. Yes, that's what I say, and on another post. They are trying to pin Sussex Squad versus Taylor Swift's fan. The UK is displaying same tactic they do when they step in other countries. Pin people against other people. That's what they do. That's what they're masterful at, along with psychological warfare. It is playing right now. Ta-da. Alright, so there's this. Yep. Yes. Don't comment. Just walk away. Alright, so let's go to the next one. This one have to do with Tyler Perry. I'm almost done. I have 2 more tweets here. Alright, let's pause. It's 1 minute and 54 seconds. Okay, billionaire Tyler Perry might need to consult with Twitter PR expert to make sure he's on the right track. Okay, so what is that about? Okay, so she retweet Pagan Trelawney. Let me make sure it's the right one. Yeah, Pagan Trelawney is retweeting Warrior Soda. 2 very good squaddies, right? Let me make sure I'm following the right one. Okay, so let's see here. The hardest thing to do when you have success is to keep your mouth shut when people are saying all kind of BS about you. Oh, okay. So let's listen. 1 minute and 54 seconds. It's gonna be a screenshot, but pay attention. Listen to the thing. What he's saying. Audio.
I had 1 or 2 choices. I could focus on the people and the success and the people who loved it, or I could focus on the naysayers who haters who don't really give a damn anyway. You right? They're not there to support or to champion. They're there to be what they are, haters and noisemakers, right? But what is most important, and I want you to hear me in this, I had a goal. And if your eyes are up there on a goal, like right now I'm looking up at the top of the ceiling there, I don't see what's going on down here because my focus is there. And when you have noise and naysayers and people, and I've had a lot, I'm sure you have too, who are telling you what you can't do, or it's not going to work, or you should be better, or you should do this, or you should do that. And the goal is to get to a place where you are financially stable, where you can open a studio, where you can hire all of these people. If I had taken my eye off of that for 1 minute to stop to argue with this person, or stop to defend myself with this person, or stop to, none of that was something I was willing to do, because in order to take my eyes off it, I would miss something and have a wreck. It's like driving a car 80 miles an hour. You're looking down at your cell phone, you're gonna run into something. Keep your eye on where you're going. Let people say what they want. That's okay. You don't have to answer to everything. And let me tell you something. The hardest thing to do when you have success is to keep your mouth shut when people are saying all kinds of BS about you. That's the hardest thing to do, because I was about to say the N-word, but I'm a guy from the 3rd Ward in New Orleans, and I can scrap with the best of them, but to keep my eyes and my mind and my focus on what God has for me has always been the goal. And I promise you, the very ones that were saying all of those things have come back around to say something else. Gotta be patient. Gotta be patient. Had 1 or 2.
And this is exactly what Harry and Meghan are doing. They keep their mouth shut and they just focus on that thing. Again, I wish video 1 is audio, it worked, because that's it. And I'm glad I did that video when I started regarding the Sussexes, is that they are in good hand. They got good advice. They don't need what I have a video that I did the other day. The thumbnails, I think I put Oprah, I put Meredith Hobson, and I think Tyler Perry's in one of those pictures. They're on top of the mountain, and you have Harry and Meghan below it, and there's a hand reaching out for them. Okay, they are in good hand. And like I was saying before, Meghan and Harry have a goal. I didn't even hear this. People will think I heard that when I was bookmarking this. I didn't hear it. What I've said before, they have a goal. Okay, their goal was, in order for you to understand as they move forward, they have to break away, destroy the naysayer, the nonsense, the noise that the tabloid was putting out there. That's by putting their own documentary. Okay, letting people know this is what they're all about. What you heard on the tabloid, it's not them. Okay, this is how it go, and this is what Spare had to do. Okay, you had the Oprah interview, you had Spare, you have Harry and Meghan docuseries. All these 3 focusing on telling you the truth about them. So now, as they move forward, it may not be about them at all. This is distant memory. All right, so let's read some of the comments. Okay, haha, Twitter PR expert. Okay, it's great that he lives in a reality and focuses his time on growing his brand and company while leaving the haters to yell from afar. Glad Harry and Meghan follows his lead and only dip down when being defamed by those with real platform. And the thing is that, and I've said this before, I think, in my humble opinion, could be completely 100% wrong. They had their lawyers looking on the tabloid. If there is something that can be sued, their lawyers could bring it up to their attention. If it's worth pursuing, then they pursue it. And little did I know, when I read Harry's witness statement, all those headlines that you see, of course, it's either him or his lawyers look into it and then to match it up. So something like that, where he had to use for evidence. Okay, thank you. The bigger the stank you make, the more it smells. Okay, exquisitely and perfectly stated. He might procure great wealth and influence others if he will listen to them. Okay, one, I don't understand why people don't understand that Harry and Meghan can answer every disinformation campaign or skewed article against them. It is clear what this has been about from jump, and all should know it doesn't go away just because they left the royal family. They have access to mentoring. That's what I told you guys. Okay, it seems like I'm being proved all the time. Some of the things I say as my humble opinion, I see other things that prove me right, or that could strengthen my humble opinion. So they are in good hand. They have mentors who've made it, and they don't need anything from Harry and Meghan because they have their own millions. So they want Harry and Meghan to succeed. Okay. And also, in my humble opinion, and I think this is the best lesson Harry could ever have in his entire life, to see that people are not about to take advantage of him or to be associated with him in order to get special deal or get something from him, this kind of thing. When you look at when he went to the is it coronation? Yeah, coronation. Each time he went back to the UK, all right, ever since he moved to the US, each time he goes back to the UK, you could see the smile on his face. These kind of things are the things that pisses off the institution, because they want to drive him crazy. They want to drive him nuts. So what?
Do you really believe that a campaign was being waged against him?
Yes, I did. Absolutely. Yeah.
Why?
I was a separated wife to the Prince of Wales. I was a problem. Full stop. Never happened before. What do we do with her? Well, when I say people, I mean friends on my husband's side were indicating that I was, again, unstable, sick, and should be put in a home of some sort in order to get better.
Can't we pack her off to somewhere quietly rather than campaign against her?
She won't go quietly. That's the problem. I'll fight till the end.
I see here, in my humble opinion, very, very tight humble opinion, okay? Harry and Meghan are in their bubble. They have taught Harry, I think it's like much better than any kind of a therapy. They have taught him how to be in a certain type of a bubble, okay? Just like the video that Tyler Perry just said, be a focus, you know, look at what you want and just stay focused on that. So this is the kind of things that I think they have taught Harry, and Harry have never learned this before, okay? In my humble opinion, okay, Harry is a very smart man. You could always there's always room for learning, but this aspect of things, when you see people who wants to be friend with you, not because of who you are, to get something from you, or to be associated with you just to be, I don't know, to get something out of you in return, this kind of thing. So this is one of the things I think Harry never thought existed, because when you look at in his family, I don't know, it's just toxic, okay? You've heard some of the things that I've said about the royal family, the way they operate, the evilness in them and all of that. So Harry have never seen anything like this. Maybe the only place he have seen it, which he feel more comfortable being, is when he travel in Africa, okay? So let's get back to the original recording. Two from the survivors of some of the worst disinfo campaigners ever. Hillary Clinton is a survivor and someone they have in their Rolodex, that's for sure. When I don't hear them push back, it's because they are taking solid advice. Other than the presidency, the disinfo has not affected Hillary's bag. Okay, I'm a strong believer that God plants people in your life to teach you lessons and fulfill a purpose. It wasn't by chance that Tayler wrote Meghan that letter before her wedding. He was meant to be a huge part of their lives and destiny, and I'm just glad they have someone like him as a mentor and now family. LOL, Tyler Perry is genius in the room nobody saw coming. That's for sure. And the other thing is that one thing that Meghan did that really helped her. Okay, if you look at every success that Meghan have done, let me tell you the number one success that she did and will always be known. Okay, when she married Harry, most people will forget their past or belittle their past or look down on their past. What did she do? She embraced it. She welcomed it. It's part of her. So this is what really helped her in the long run.
A couple years ago, I heard someone call my mom the N-word. So I think for me, beyond being personally affected by racism, just to see the landscape of what our country is like right now, certainly the world, and to want things to be better.
She knew who she was, she knew who she is, and she knew where she's going. So she embraced every little thing of hers and brought it with her on that pedestal. Okay, this is what really helped her. Because if she had degraded her past, or look at what happened to the father, for instance, okay, still you never hear her say a negative thing about her father. All right, you just don't hear a thing about her father coming out of her mouth. So if she had degraded, she embraced everything of her past, where she came from and all of that. So if she had degraded her past, do you think the Sussex Squad will be there? No, she will have to deal with it on her own. All right, so let's go to the next tweet. So I really applaud her for that, and this is what's helping her moving forward. Okay, next one. Okay, Prince Harry versus the Sun should resume sometime in July with a hearing to discuss the monarchy's secret agreement with Murdoch and limitation period. Well, there's one incident that's a lot more recent. Okay, there's one incident that's a lot more recent. So when I saw this, I thought did I share it? I think I did share it, but when I look at the date, I was like, oh, 2021, it's all. So I think she was making some point in this particular tweet here. So the link will be in the description. I think I already have it. It's Byline. Let me click on it just in case. All right, let's see here. The Sun, that's back in 2021. So she's making some point here, certain things that happen. You could read it. I don't want to make this a 2 hour. Well, I'm almost another hour. You could read that. Okay, so let me just read the headline. The Sun denies illegal monitoring Prince Harry's text trafficking to Meghan Markle 2 days after private investigator Danno Hanks unlawfully blagged her mobile number. Okay, so that was April 1st, 2021. Okay, like April Fool. Okay, I suspect that the lawsuit is one reason the texts between Harry and Meghan during their dating period were publicly shared in the Netflix docuseries. It was to get ahead of exclusive scoop when they show up again in court trial. Okay, well, I smell another lawsuit, unless this confession mean they run trembling to Harry and Meghan to pay them compensation, not wondering they're the headpiece ringleaders. Okay, this incident already mentioned in the Sun lawsuit, awaiting at least one more pre-trial hearing. If goes to trial, Murdoch crew will need to give some answer to this. Okay, all right, that's why all the headpieces from Wall Street Journal and his other dirty tabloid. So there's that here. Murdoch really think he's the government. You know, TFG tried this tack, quote, just find me 11,000 plus vote. Fannie Will says that ain't working out for him. All right, so what is that here? All right. However, James Bill, the Sun's U.S. editor, who initially tasked the private investigator, denied asking him to do anything illegal. The co-author of the Sun article about Prince Harry's text has categorically denied using unlawful techniques to source the story. Emily Andrews, who was then the paper's royal correspondent, stated that the Byline Investigate story presented here is completely wrong. She went on to explain that her article was based on legal information gathering, such as rank sources, and wasn't anything to do with mobile phones, text traffic, phone bills, or any other misuse of private information. Andrew said, quote, "I would like to state again that the information contained in the Sun story categorically was not obtained by unlawful use of private information or by unlawful accessing any phone record or otherwise. Quote, it was all legally obtained, and the suggestion it was not is both factual, completely wrong, and also highly defamatory." Okay, as the Sun royal correspondent, I have many sources from I will speak to, and they were aware that information which was discussed will be published. Such a person was the source of the information containing in the Sun story. This is why Harry had to say, I'm glad that I read his witness statement. He said when he talked to people on the phone about certain things, and the people themselves do not talk those information to other people, so how will the tabloid know about it and then to write about it? You understand what I mean? Okay, let's see here. As the Sun royal correspondent, I have many sources whom I will speak to, and they were aware that information which was discussed would be published. Such a person was the source of the information contained in the Sun story, and it is their quotes that were published. Okay, so you're gonna have to prove that. I don't know. This is what happened. I said this, where they use the word source and to make believe it's someone else. You know, and then the shield that protect journalists to not reveal their sources, and this is what they shielding themselves with. Okay, it is common for sources to wish to remain anonymous. There's the part here that says, okay, anonymous. I don't know. Harry said he never speak to anybody. How will you get that? And then the paper have admitted that they have done phone hacking before. So you're gonna have to prove that. The Sun story is not and has never been suspicious or suspiciously obtained, and I continue to stand by it. Again, I don't know. You're gonna have to prove that. Andrew, who has since moved to the Mail on Sunday, was also keen to stress that she had never tasked a private investigator while at the Sun, or indeed at any other time during her journalistic career. In a previous statement, she had told Byline Investigates that she had never heard of Danno Hanks and was never giving any information from him. She added that she did not know where Ashley Friedman contact detail came from and had never spoken to her. Ashley Friedman is Meghan Markle's niece, okay, and the only named source to be quoted in the Sun story. Okay, so we need to see. Oh my God, they're bringing the niece into that. Okay, his co-author Emily Andrews also denied doing anything unlawful and says the information came from legal sources, including insight from contacts who wanted to remain nameless. So this is one of the reasons I guess Meghan did not invite her niece to the wedding, because she did not want her niece to get all mango into all those nonsense. So Meghan was trying to protect her. So now the only time I came across with that with her niece, Meghan's niece, is during the docuseries. Never heard of her. Okay, and I was kind of surprised that she had relationship with her when you look at the mother, all right, Meghan's sister. So yeah, so Meghan was right to keep her shield, and I'm sorry, she probably, the niece, felt really bad for not being invited, but in the long run it was one of the smart and calculated and carefully thought out decision to not invite her and not get her into the mix with all this nonsense that's going on in the UK. Okay, so this is something she could pursue further. Meghan and Harry, how did you get her name, how did you get her information, and all of that. Okay, so that's my humble opinion, so I'm just saying. All right, so I don't know, we shall see if this goes to trial. There's no date on this one. I don't know where this came from. Okay, thanks for connecting this dot. I assume Emily Andrews was fired from both the Sun and Mail on Sunday because of drama with colleagues and bosses, but she may also be unemployable because she is a legal liability. Okay, if the Sun newspaper had legally access to our favorite royal private communication, that would really piss me off. Okay, it's unclear if the Sun could read the context of the text message. The article implies they would have used blagging, impersonating Meghan. That is true as well. Likely with her stolen social security. I didn't think about that. Social security to get unlawful access to her account. They will see phone numbers, sending, receiving messages, calls. Yeah. Alright, I put the link of this in the description for you guys. It's the same thing as above. This explains why Murdoch has ramped up the smear campaign. I think so too. Wondering if this is one reason for increasing bad activity. Probably. K. Murdoch is running the government and the royal family. Unimaginable decline in this country since our queen died. Everything is corrupt. Stormer too went to Murdoch's summer party with the Tories. It is showing Stormer is a liar. Okay. What's that? PMQT, he's acting. Okay, I just blocked her. No time for trolls. Okay, the Sun ran a story about Harry love bombing Meghan with text messages. How will they know that? But by unlawful means. The thing I do not understand with the UK tabloid is that they know that they're doing things unlawfully. How do they feel so at ease to easily write, whether it's through phone hacking or anything that's not true or defamatory about somebody? How do they feel so at ease to easily write anything that they want? And you've seen some of the video clips that I came across and I share with you, and I commented on it to somewhat debunk based on what I'm aware of. These people, they just feel at ease to say anything. This is the thing I don't understand. Why do they feel so at ease to say whatever they want when they're talking, smearing somebody else's name? I don't understand this. The easiness, this is the thing for me here. The easiness to feel comfortable to say anything you want. I don't understand. That's the thing. Alright, so this is my last one, and it has nothing to do with royal family, nothing at all. Oh my god, you will not believe what time is it. 5:36. I haven't even started editing. Normally I'm close to finishing editing, but I'm about to give the computer. This one was so cute. Lately when I see those animal videos, I leave them at the end to share with you. Okay, puppy and kittens, 14 seconds. Look, I'm gonna have to pause in between still. Look at it, trying to play, caressing the cat. There's the other cat cam. Oh, they're little kittens. He wants to play, but afraid. Oh my lord, so cute. Alright, so that's it. Let's do a prayer. What should we do the prayer to? The last prayer that I did, I said prayer for achievement and clarity. Let's put clarity and success. Clarity and success. Okay, let's see, that's done. Let's pick whatever here. Let's do this one. Dear God, I am grateful for all the blessing you have given me. Thank you for your love, mercy, and grace. Please help me always to be mindful of your goodness and to express my gratitude in words and deed. I pray in Jesus' name, amen. Alright, so that is it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Now I'm gonna listen to video one. God, please make the audio work because I do not want to record it again. And I said some really good things too. Alright, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
the Vinaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better